Good morning, everyone. I am Dilpreet Singh, Assistant Professor, Mechanical Department, Chandigarh Polytechnic College, Kanua. In this semester, I will teach Thermodynamics 2. Let's talk about the Thermodynamics 2 subject. In Thermodynamics 2, there are 7 chapters. First chapter is IC engine, then fuel supply and ignition system in petrol engine, fuel system of diesel engine, next is cooling and lubrication, then next is testing of IC engine, and next is steam turbine and steam condenser, and last one is gas turbine and jet propulsion. So let's start with IC engine. So IC engine, before starting with the internal combustion engine, let's talk about the thermodynamics. Thermodynamics is a branch of science which deals with the heat in motion. So in other words, we can say thermodynamics is a branch of science which deals with the heat energy and mechanical energy. And the relationship between heat energy and mechanical energy is governed by the laws of thermodynamics. The laws of thermodynamics we have already studied in the previous semester in thermodynamics 1. So starting with the engine. So what is engine? A power producing machine is called engine. So we can say engine is a machine which produces the power. So starting with heat engine, an engine which converts the heat energy into the mechanical energy is called heat engine. So what is happening in this diagram? Here chemical energy of stored in a fuel that is entered inside the engine. Further, upon burning, it is converted into the heat energy, and this heat energy then further converted into the mechanical energy by the expansion of gases against the moving part of engine. So we can say that chemical energy stored in a fuel that is converted into the heat energy during the burning. Further, that heat energy is converted into the mechanical energy which is used to run the vehicles or to do the useful work. Next, types of heat engine. There are two types of heat engine. First one is the internal combustion engine and second one is the external combustion engine. In internal combustion engine, the combustion of fuel take place inside the engine. So what is the combustion? The combustion is the process, the burning of fuel in the presence of oxygen. So petrol, diesel, oil and gas engines are the examples of internal combustion engine. So what is external combustion engine? EC engine. In this, the combustion of fuel take place outside the engine. Means ki burning of fuel that is take place outside. Not inside, means outside. Steam engine and steam turbines are the main example. So this is very important topic. Next is classification of IC engine. So we can classify the IC engine according to the working cycles. So first is according to the working cycle. First one is the 4-stroke engine. Second one is the 2-stroke engine. In 4-stroke engine, there are one power stroke for the 2 revolutions of crankshaft. In 2-stroke engine, there is one power stroke upon the 1 revolution of crankshaft. Similarly, next classification is according to the type of fuel used. So if we use petrol as a fuel for the engine, then that engine is called petrol engine. Similarly is diesel engine and gas engine. So next classification is according to the thermodynamic cycle. First is Otto cycle and second is diesel cycle. And this is very important for the competition exams. So petrol engine that works on the Otto cycle and diesel cycle is working on the basis of diesel cycle. Similarly, next is according to the method of ignition. There are two methods of ignition. First one is the spark ignition system and second one is the compression ignition. Spark ignition engine, that is petrol engine, and compression ignition engine is the diesel engine. In spark ignition engine, spark plug is used. In compression ignition engine, nozzle, or we can say injector is used. Next is according to the number of cylinder. If there is one cylinder in an engine, that is called single cylinder engine. Mostly our bikes are single cylinder engine. So next is multi-cylinder engine, means if there is number of cylinders, then that is called multi-cylinder engine. Example is car. So next classification is according to the method of fuel injection. Fuel injection with carburetor. So this method is used in a petrol engine, air injection system, airless injection system, or solid injection system. These two methods are used in a diesel engine. So on this fuel injection method, we can classify the engines. Next is according to the speed of engine. First one is low speed engine, the RPM. RPM is revolutions per minute. If the RPMs are less than 500, then that engine is called low speed engine. If RPMs are in the range of 500 to 1000, that is called medium speed engine. And last one is the high speed engine. If the RPM are more than 1000, that is called high speed engine. Next is according to the cooling system. First one is air cooled engine and second one is water cooled engine. Air cooled engines are bikes in which air cooled method is used, means ki no coolant is used to cooling of engine. Water cooled engine, that is used in a car. So according to the valve location, there is side valve engine. If the placing of valve is in the side of engine, that is called side valve engine. Second one is overhead valve engine. If the valve is placed at the top of engine, that is called overhead valve engine. Next is according to the field of application. If our engine is stationary at a one place, that is called stationary engine. If our engine is used in a vehicle, that is called automotive engine. If our engine is used in ships, that is called marine engine. Similarly, if we use engine in an aircraft, that is called aircraft engine. Similarly, if we use our engine in trains, that is called locomotive engine. Next is according to the cylinder arrangement. If our cylinders are in a same line and in a vertical position, that is called inline vertical engine. So we can see in a picture, these cylinders are in a line and in a vertical position. That's why it is called inline vertical engine. Next is B type engine. If there is an angle between the two cylinders or between the piston, that is called B type engine. Horizontal engine, if the position of pistons or cylinder that is in a horizontal direction, that is called horizontal engine. Double cylinder engine, if two cylinders are used over the to run the engine, that is called double cylinder engine. Opposite cylinder engine, if the position of cylinder that is opposite to each other, that is called opposite cylinder engine. Next is W type engine, radial engine, and last one is single cylinder engine, that is mostly used as a stationary engine. So next is the main components of reciprocating engine. So there are two types of IC engine. First one is the rotary engine and second one is the reciprocating. So reciprocating engine, in which the piston moves from the top dead center to the bottom dead center. So starting with the first component, that is cylinder, it is the main part of engine in which piston reciprocates to and fro. So we can say ki this is the main part in which piston is moving up and down, means it having the reciprocating motion. It have high strength to withstand high pressure above 50 bars and temperature above 200 degrees centigrade. Moreover, the material used to make the cylinder, that is cast iron, and for the heavy duty engines, the steel alloy or aluminum alloy is used. If there is one cylinder, that is called cylinder, simple cylinder. If there are number of cylinders, then that is called cylindrical block. So next is the cylinder head. The top end of cylinder covered by cylinder head over the inlet and exhaust over which inlet and exhaust valve, spark plug and injectors are mounted. Means ki cylinder head is a cover to cover the cylinder head, to cover the cylinder. And the cylinder head contains exhaust valve, spark plug and injectors. A copper or asbestos gaskets are used to make it airtight so that there is no chances of leakage. And next is piston. Piston is used to transmit the force exerted by the burning of charge to the connecting rod. So we can say piston is the heart of engine. So the main purpose of piston is to create the suction, then to create the compression, then to transform the power produced by the exhaust burning of fuel, and last one is to exhaust the gases from the engine. Mostly the material used to make the piston, that is aluminum alloy, which having good conducting property and high strength. So this is the basic diagram of engine. So here we can see this is our cylinder. So this is our cylinder where I am moving the cursor. At the top of cylinder there is cylinder head, and the cylinder head contains the inlet valve. This is our outlet valve and the spark plug. Inside the cylinder there is piston. Piston is connected to the connecting rod. Connecting rod is connected to the crankshaft. Crankshaft is enclosed in the crankcase, and over the piston there are grooves in which piston rings are mounted. So what are the piston pins? In order to connect the piston to the small end of connecting rod, then the pins are used which are known as piston pins or wrist pin, or we can say gudgeon pins. To connect the big end of connecting rod with the crankshaft, we are using the crank pins. So this is a relation between piston, connecting rod and crankshaft. At the top there is piston, and the outer periphery of piston there are two rings, that is called piston rings. Piston is connected to the connecting rod with the help of gudgeon pin, and the big end of connecting rod that is connected to the crankshaft with the help of crank pin. This is the relationship between the connecting rod, crankshaft and piston. Piston rings. As we have already discussed about the piston rings, these are used over the outer surface of piston. There is groove over the piston in which piston rings are inserted. The material of this piston ring is steel alloy. There are two types of piston ring. First one is the compression ring. Second one is the oil ring. The main purpose of piston ring is to avoid the leakage, and it is used to avoid the direct contact between the cylinder and piston. If there is a direct contact, then tear and wear will be happen. So we are using the piston rings to avoid the leakage and to avoid the wear and tear. So next part is connecting rod. Connecting rod, which is used to connect the piston and crankshaft. There is one small end and there is one big end. Small end is connected to the piston and big end is connected to the crankshaft. Here we use the gudgeon pin, here we use the crank pin. So the main purpose of connecting rod is to convert the reciprocating motion of a piston into the rotary motion of crankshaft. I am repeating again, the main purpose of connecting rod is to convert the reciprocating motion of a piston into the rotary motion of crankshaft. So this is the crankshaft. Crankshaft, the main purpose of crankshaft is to convert the rotary motion of piston into the crankshaft. Means the whole rotary motion is converted stored into the crankshaft. The material used for making the crankshaft, that is steel alloy. And here in CB can see in the picture on the right hand side of crankshaft there is flywheel, and this is called crank pin journals. Here we are mounted the our connecting rod with the help of crank pin, and in order to compensate or in order to balance the crank pin journals, we are using the counterweights. And there is main journals. Main journal, the purpose of main journal is to accommodate the crankshaft over the crankcase. And there is there are number of holes in the crankshaft in order to provide the lubrication. So in order to avoid the friction between the moving parts. So crankcase is the house in which cylinder and crankshaft is stored, and in the crankshaft we can store the lubricating oil for the lubrication purpose. And next component is flywheel. It is a big wheel made up of cast iron. U is mounted over the crankshaft. The main purpose of flywheel is to store the energy during the power stroke and supply this energy to the idle stroke. And next part is spark plug. It is used in a spark plug ignition, or we can say spark plug is used only in a petrol engine. The purpose of spark plug is to produce the spark. Next is concept of IC engine terms. So this is the basic terminology used in IC engine. So first, that is bore. The inside diameter of engine is called bore. Here we can say this is our cylinder. This is our internal diameter, that is called bore. So this is the internal diameter, that is called bore, and in this bore our piston reciprocates. So the movement, next is stroke. The movement of stroke from the top to the bottom is called stroke, or the distance traveled by from bottom to the top, that is also called stroke. Then next one is TDC, top dead center. The extreme position in which piston on the top of cylinder, when our piston is at our top position, that is called TDC. When our piston is at the bottom position, that is called BTC. These terms are used for the vertical engine. So if our engine is in horizontal position, then top dead center is called as the IDC, inner dead center, and BDC is called ODC, outer dead center. So this is written. What is the bottom dead center? Bottom dead center is the extreme position of piston on the bottom of cylinder. And one thing more, when piston is at a TDC, then cylinder volume is minimum. So here, if our piston is at TDC, the volume above the TDC, that is minimum. If our piston is at BDC, then there is a maximum volume. So next is the piston area. The cross-sectional area of piston is called cylinder. So this cylinder is circular in shape, having some height. So it moves from TDC to BDC. So that we can say the piston having some area that is equals to pi r square into L. Next is displacement volume and swept volume. The volume covered by piston between TDC and BDC is called stroke volume or swept volume or displacement volume. When piston moves from TDC to BDC, then our volume is maximum, and that volume from TDC to BDC, that is called swept volume. Next is clearance volume. When our piston is at the top position, when piston is at the TDC, the volume above, here where I am moving the cursor, the volume above the TDC, that is called the clearance volume. Then what is the total volume? Total volume is the clearance volume plus the swept volume. So next is the compression ratio. This is very important. Compression ratio, here I am written compression ratio. It is a ratio of total volume to the clearance volume. Our total volume is the swept volume plus clearance volume. So if we add the swept volume and clearance volume and divide with the clearance volume, then that ratio is called the compression ratio. And it is very important to design the engine. For petrol engine, the compression ratio varies from 5:1 to 9:1. And for the diesel engine, the compression ratio varies from 14:1 to 22:1. So this is the compression ratio. So next is the four-stroke cycle engine. So what is happening in a four-stroke cycle engine? After this, we will discuss about the four-stroke petrol engine and four-stroke diesel engine, then two-stroke petrol engine and two-stroke diesel engine. So what is the basic concept of four-stroke cycle engine? So in four-stroke cycle engine, all the events of cycle, in order to complete the one cycle, there are four events. First one is suction, compression, exhaust, and third one is power, and last one is exhaust. In four-stroke engine, these four events take place in a two revolution of crankshaft. If our crankshaft revolves two revolution, then that rotation is 720 degree. So next is each stroke is 180 degree crankshaft rotation. The name of four strokes in one cycle, that is suction stroke, or we can say intake stroke. Second one is compression stroke. Third is expansion, working, or we can say this stroke is power stroke. And last stroke is the exhaust stroke. So let's see what happens in a suction stroke. So suction stroke or intake stroke, in this piston moves from TDC to BDC. Air fuel mixture come inside, or in diesel engine only air will come inside. Next is intake valve is open and exhaust valve is closed during the suction stroke or intake stroke. So let's see in the next slide. So this is our intake stroke. Here piston is at a extreme position, that is the top dead center, and inlet valve is open and exhaust valve is closed. So when our piston starts moving from top dead center to the bottom dead center, the fuel and air will start entering, and in diesel engine only air will start entering. So during the suction stroke, only our charge that is entered. So what happen in a compression stroke? Compression stroke consists of piston traveling back up. Means piston is moving from BDC to the TDC. So both intake and outtake valves are closed in this compression stroke, and air fuel mixture is now being compressed. In this stroke, compression take place. So let's see. So when our piston is at BDC, it starts moving from BDC to TDC. And before compression stroke, both the valves are closed and the charge is inside the cylinder and piston. And this charge is now compressed. So when piston moves from BDC to TDC, the whole charge is compressed. So this is the compression ratio, which we already discussed. So next is power. Before the power, the piston is now at the TDC. Piston is on the TDC position, and in power stroke, spark plug ignites, creating a spark that ignites the compressed air fuel mixture. Explosion is created and piston is forced back down. Hence, the power stroke, both valves are closed. So what is happening in a power stroke? Let's see. In power stroke, both the valves are closed and piston is at TDC, and there is a spark produced which creates the pressure energy over the piston, and piston starts moving from TDC to the BDC. So this is the last moment for the power stroke. These gases pushes the piston to from TDC to the BDC, the position of piston that is at BDC. And last torque, that is the exhaust torque. In the piston is traveling up, means the piston starts moving from BDC to the TDC, and in this torque exhaust valve is open and intake valve is closed. Exhaust gases is pushed out by piston. So in this we can see our our outlet valve that is open, piston starts moving from BDC to TDC, and piston is pushing these exhaust gases to escape out, and these gases escape out from the our cylinder, and this is power stroke. And so the cycle continues. Thanks for watching this video, and in next video we will discuss about the 4-stroke petrol engine and 4-stroke diesel engine, 2-stroke petrol engine and 2-stroke diesel engine, and about their valve timing diagrams. Thank you for watching.